even the no area, because we import this fuel for the generation. These IPPs import the crude. Is that not the case?
Yeah.
So the fuel cost just about somewhere beginning of this month after now, there has been marginal even increase at the pumps. Haven't you seen that? And then coupled with the tension at the Middle East, that particular reason makes it even more or highly unsustainable. In my humble thinking, because it means that they didn't do proper projections of the global trends before they came out with this particular announcement. Yes, I want to think that way, because as we speak, in fact, some of us are even shocked as to why fuel prices are being managed at this level. Because yesterday, CNN, it ranges between $104 per barrel to $111 per barrel, depending on which country you find yourself in out there.
Yeah,
you understand. And so Saudi Arabia's tankers have been hit. Other countries' tankers have been hit. Strait of Hormuz is blocked now. It's very, very tricky. So basing your reduction on this case, I want to say that the reasons they cited here for the reduction are all in shake. They are not sustainable at the moment. The CD dollar exchange rate, we need to be very careful looking at what is happening on the global market, and then the cost of fuel prices. We also need to be very careful. Inflation, we need to be very careful. That is why I say that in principle I'm not against reduction, but the timing is not for me right, and therefore its sustainability is actually shaky.
So when would have been a better time? Should they wait till after what is happening in the Middle East?
The Middle East something has a serious domino effect. It affects cost of production. It affects standard of living. It affects the wealth stock market. It affects almost everything. You understand?
But are we heavily dependent on imported fuel for power generation as a country?
As we speak, the maximum capacity for coal is supposed to be 45,000 barrels per day. You understand?
Yeah.
The last time I checked, they are currently not producing at that level. Now, under the ex-president Akufo-Addo, there was another refinery that they built. I always forget the refinery. I checked. I don't know what the source. I checked from one of the media online. I don't want to mention the name, but when I checked, their capacity is also, I think, 20 to 30,000 barrels per day. Now, on daily basis, the consumption for Ghana is 150,000 barrels per day. So let's assume even Tor and that refinery, the new one, are at their peak. Tor 45,000, that one is 30,000. It's almost 50% of our daily consumption, right? The net, where do we get it from? It's not from importation.
Yeah.
And so significantly, it's gonna affect.
I think the name of the refinery is this the Sentu?
Yes, Sentu. Very good.
Yeah.
Sentu, yes. Sentu refinery. Thank you very much. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you put these two refineries together, their maximum capacity is almost 70,000 at peak. That is if they are in their full capacity, which currently it is not even there. But assuming they are in their full capacity, we need to import extra, I think 80,000 barrels a day.
Yeah.
In order to balance that. And we don't even have stock. The last time MPA came, they said we had 6 weeks. And that was almost 3 weeks ago. You understand? So if at this time we've not gotten much, to top up whatever we had in stock, and with this tension ongoing at the Middle East, we are not safe. We are not safe. And so the cost of import is going to be affected in terms of the prices at which importers import these commodities. It's going to be affected because these producing countries rely heavily on energy for their production. It's going to affect us. And so that one, there's no two ways about it. That's why I said I would have loved, given the current domestic macroeconomic conditions, which are good, inflation 3.3, exchange rate. Now, the Bank of Ghana is about 10.78. The bank will be like 11 something. Black market, let's say 12.5 thereabouts, which is normal. It's good. You understand? Then if you look at interest rate and what have you. The domestic or the internal macroeconomic indicators justify for that. But the global, which we are not, immune from, is actually not stabilized. It's actually not good at all for us. You understand? In this world, the current world of production relies heavily on energy. And this energy, majority of them come from crude. And if crude is at risk to the level that even vessels are being attacked at the Strait of Hormuz, to the level that only China is allowed to, allowed to import or to pass through that particular channel. And then the rest are those who can prove that they actually acquired the fuel in yuan and not in US dollars. Then that is going to be very huge. And so for me, I would have preferred the reduction came at the point where the global front things are somewhat normal. We don't have any risk or threat. And the fuel is at the crude is at maybe the is it 50 or to 60 US dollars per barrel as we used to see, rather than the 100 and something dollars per barrel that we are currently experiencing because of the tension in the Middle East. I would have loved that the reduction came at the time where the system was normal and there is nothing ongoing in terms of the tension we are seeing now, which is affecting the cost of energy. Then I think that okay, the reduction is sustainable. But currently, and I want to emphasize that I am not against, in principle, the reduction. My point is that the timing is not right, and therefore sustainability is actually not there.
I see. But, as part of the things that the PURC communicated is the introduction of a commercial EV charging tariff, and I know that we are seeing those things come up, and that's a shift towards cleaner energy. How might that also or those developments affect tariff sustainability?
Brilliant. I mean, that's a very good question. You see, that should have been the game changer. That should have been the game changer. But you see, we are in a country where the EV vehicles should have been the vehicles that we should be using. But as we speak, my brother, what proportion of the vehicles we have in this country are EVs? You need to find it. We need to answer that particular question. You understand? We need to. The answer is crystal clear. About 99.99% of the vehicles we use in this country are not EV. The EV is just being introduced into the country.
Yeah.
And then what is the cost of it? Looking at the prevailing, economic conditions, macro-wise is good, but micro is not that good shape for people to even acquire $1,500 worth of brand new car, EV car. If you like, let's actually have a collaboration with the Zunda or Swiss Group Limited. Let them come and line up EV cars, small cars, which are the price of $1,500. It is almost the rich. Few of the middle income group will have that amount of money lying sitting in their accounts that they can comfortably buy without the household not sacrificing something tangible for that particular month or 2, 3, 4 to 6 months to come. So you see, these things are very long-term proposals, which I 150% agree with the government that these are the things that will contribute to the benefit we can gain from whatever reduction. Because in this case, once the EVs come, the consumption of fuel, direct fuel in terms of petrol and diesel, is going to go down. It's going to go down significantly, isn't it? So, which means that the fuel that we would have consumed, which is now going to be consumed because of the introduction of the EVs, will now be, channeled into power generation, which would then bring some sort of relief.
Yeah.
But that is medium to long term kind of. But currently, so I still insist that the timing is not good. Looking at the utility providers themselves, they are incapable operationally. They are handicapped. You understand? Yeah. How much money has government after government not pumped into electricity company of Ghana, into water company of Ghana? But because of operational inefficiency, financial inefficiency due to corruption, You understand? And all matter of, I mean, and then all manner of problems in terms of energy theft, water theft, and all of that. We are not safe to even call for reduction. The best we can do for our citizens is to stabilize the price for a longer term. The best we can do economically is to either not revise it upwards or downwards, but we ensure that we improve efficiency such that the prices or the cost of electricity and water will be at the same, will be stabilized for a longer period of time. That is the best we can do. But if we dare talk of, reduction, it affects the operations and the balance sheet of the utility companies. If we call for constantly we call for upward adjustment, it's also going to hurt the disposable incomes of households, and it's going to make life, or the conditions of life of households, very, very harsh or hard for them. You understand? So the best we can do is to ensure stability until we do proper, cleanup in the utility providers internally, ensure that the macroeconomic indicators that we are having is also normalized or is also maintained. Beautiful macroeconomic indicator, and I will keep on praising them. But we need to sustain it. When it sustains for a longer period of time, then we look at the global trend to things are stable. You understand? Then we try to introduce new technological form of transportation. Our rails need to be checked. We need to improve on our public transport system such that I can comfortably park my car somewhere and join the bus or the rail to wherever I'm going and come back within the shortest possible time. Road conditions are improved such that there will not be useless traffic, because you can buy 500 Ghana cedis worth of fuel. Look at the type of car I use. If I'm going to ministry and I'm stuck in traffic, if I buy 500, by the time I go and come, I have to buy another 500. You understand? Yeah. All these things contribute to. So at the end of the day, there's a zero-sum game. You can't call for reduction at this point when all these things are not done. So I think it is premature ejaculation for government to do that. We are all calling for relief, but at this stage, I keep saying, and I've said it on several channels, that the best, and I repeat, the best kind of relief you can give to the people is price stabilization. Stabilize the price of everything. You understand?
Right.
If today I'm buying bread based on the quantity my family can consume, 20 cedis, I am expected that it will remain 20 for at least the next 12 months. Then I can plan. If I'm receiving, let's say, 5,000 Ghana cedis a month, I know that fuel is at this level for the next 12 months. The energy is at this level for the next 12 months in terms of electricity. The water is at this level for the next 12 months. That stability will bring absolute relief, and nobody will complain. But if you go and then reduce prices, when we know that the global trend is not helping, and internally too, we've not done all these things that we need to do. Look at this brilliant idea, the EV vehicle. How many people have it? So it is actually not there. Then you also see that road conditions are not good, your transport systems are bad, you understand, and all of that, and you are going to cause a reduction. That particular accumulation of debt is there for us to pay in future. And if you dare also call for upward adjustment, you are hurting households.
Right. Doc, so our time is almost up. I just want to pick your thoughts, just before we go. So realistically, if you were advising policymakers, what specific initiatives would you want them to undertake to provide some solutions to the problems in those sectors, so that in the long term, maybe we can be looking at stability of these prices like you suggest?
Great. So first of all, in terms of energy production, I'm calling for renewable energy. Government should make it a policy and a deliberate program to ensure that households or homes and organizations are encouraged to use solar. You understand? They should make it very cheap for people to be able to acquire solar energy. The solar panels that you see on some few, more or less, currently look as if it's only the rich that is able to afford that. So the renewable energy aspect of it, the energy mix, the renewable energy must be boosted. And I think government has to spend a lot of resources in that particular regard. When we do that, the pressure on the normal electricity, whatever, the main grade will go down.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
When it goes down, households get relief because as for solar, look at God has blessed us with this particular kind of resource, sunlight. You don't have any bills to pay except maintenance, and maintenance can be done. Is it on every 3 months or every 6 months? So that ought to be very, very key in that particular regard. The next one is for us to look at this question that you posed, the introduction of EV vehicles. You understand? It's very, very key. And I admire the Chinese so much that eye-opening that they have brought. It's helping. Look, yeah, sometimes I park my car due to traffic and then get Bolt or Uber or something like that. And some of the vehicles are purely EV, others are hybrid, both fuel and then, electric. And sometimes I have a chat with some of these, and they tell you the kind of savings they are making. My brother, you actually admire. But the setback is that the road conditions we have in this country are not good for such vehicles. So that is why I applaud this government for this big push. It's very good. We need to improve on our roads and then reduce the unnecessary potholes and all of that. And then Ghana Highways Commission or whatever should also ensure that road maintenance are very, very key. All these things indirectly eat into our energy cost. We don't know. You understand?
Yeah.
Then we can talk about the use of improved public transport. The improved public transport is very, very also key for us to ensure that, people who even own these SUVs, luxurious SUVs, will sit down and say, today let me park my car and join the bus or join the train and then go to wherever I am going. Then the transportation of goods and services, especially agricultural commodities from the hinterland to the cities, are we going to use the rails? We need to improve on that. All these things contribute to our energy consumption. So when we do that, then we can look at, our refinery. I always say that I am waiting and I'm hoping for a Ghana where 100% we can consume the fuel we internally refine. And we are capable of doing that. We need to, and I have heard, I don't have any evidential fact, but I've heard that the current administration is seeking to expand the capacity of TOR. They need to do that. Sentio, they need to do that. And we even have to have more than 2 refineries. There should be a refinery in Takoradi. There should be a refinery in Western region. It is very key. You understand? So when we improve on the capacity and we are able to refine whatever crude that we want to consume, God has blessed us with a lot of oil fields. We can have that particular thing done here. And then when we do that, the cost at the pump will be very cheaper. The cost for generating power will also be very, very cheaper. Then we are talking about that. So the reduction shouldn't be based only on macroeconomic indicators. Those ones are, they are fluctuating. They are fluctuating every day, based on the prevailing, prevailing global and domestic economic conditions. They fluctuate. So if you base on that, you're going to shoot yourself at the foot. But we need to ensure that policies and programs are put in place to boost consumption of renewable energy. Solar is very, very key for us. You understand? We look at improvements of our roads. We ensure that we enhance our public transport system, both road and then the rail. And then we look at the fact that we can expand our refinery in terms of having more than 2 refineries, and even the existing 2, we improve their capacity to at least meet our current daily consumption as a country. Then I think it's a way to go.
It's a way to go. Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Felix Larry. We're really, really grateful that you joined us this morning, sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. So that was Dr. Felix Larry. He is a development economist, and he's also the executive director of IDER. And he joined us this morning talking about the electricity and water tariffs that have been reduced, and is going to take effect from the 1st of April this year. Now, he says that it is not sustainable. There are so many inefficiencies in our utility sectors, and there is a need for us to check those inefficiencies so that we don't just jump on reducing at one point and then the next moment we are increasing again and all of that. So there are things that we have to do there. And he says that we have to increase, try our best to actually increase or move towards renewable energy, solar and all of that, also EV vehicles and some other things. It's been a good conversation so far, and today, and I'm really grateful that you all joined us this morning. And a special thanks to our guest, Dr. Felix Larry Essilfie. He is a development economist and also the executive director of IDER. And also thanks to you for listening right from 6:15 till now. My name is Nitrebi Hammond. We'll be back again tomorrow. Until then, keep listening to Z101.9 FM. Take care of yourself, and when you think Ghana, think Z. I'll see you tomorrow. Up next is A Brighter Side with Jerry.